Hey pimps, this is Melt for the PiMP team, and I thank you for watching our video and for all of your other support. Don't forget to sign up for the PiMP monthly newsletter. It has updates and coupons for discounts. Simply go to forum.getpimp.org, scroll down, put in your email address. Thank you for all of you who have subscribed. In this video, I would like to go over how the PiMP default configuration files work. This is something that can be confusing for new users, so I'd like to go over it. So let's get into a PiMP rig. I'm going to SSH into one of my example rigs. And the first thing we're going to do, I want to show you PiMP Up and what PiMP Up does as far as the default configuration files. You'll see here, it downloads and stores the PiMP managed profiles and examples in opt-conf's default. So that will be overwritten whenever we make changes to our examples, which is all the time. So you want to make sure that you're using the commands properly so that your changes don't get overwritten. So let's make this a little bigger, and then we're going to go and take a look at this folder. So we'll cd to opt-conf's default, and we'll do a LL for long list. You'll see here that this is all the files. So this is the configuration files that we provide that have been tested and known to be working, and we update them all the time. So whenever there's a new coin that can be mined by a certain profile, we'll add it. New profiles, new file gets created. Now, let's cd to the opt-confs folder itself and do a long listing there, and you'll see here that by default, if you don't edit a file, it will be a link to the default, which means that it will run whatever the latest PiMP Up version of that is. So you can also see here there are some which have not a link. Those are already edited, and we'll go ahead and show you how the edit command works so you can get an understanding here. So let's get into the edit mode. We're going to we'll go for sgminer ether. So we go in here, and by default we are using the nano PiMP modified version as the PiMP edit. You can change which editor the PiMP editor use, and we'll show that in just a moment. Let's make some changes here, just testing. So in nano, to save out, we're going to use Control X to exit. We're going to say Y for yes, save my changes, and enter for the same file. Now, because it is a conf file, which is the JSON format, you have to be careful, and we'll go over the syntax in a later video. But the PiMP editor does check syntax for conf files, does not do that for pconfigs. Just want to show you another feature of the edit command here. You can actually, let's see what we're running. Okay, we're mining Equihash with bminer. That's profile ID number 1 here, so we can actually use edit 1. And it'll say, this is number 1, is that the one you mean? Yes. And then we'll go into editing that file. So we make a change to it. Control X, yes, enter. It says, hey, well, this is the one that's running. Do you want to restart the miner? Well, of course we would normally. We're going to say no here. And then I also want to show you the changes that we made to the ether file. What PiMP edit does is if it saves changes, it breaks the link and saves your file. Now, if the opt-conf's default gets updated, your file will not be touched. This is what we want. So please use the PiMP edit command. If you don't like nano, well, that's fine. We'll show you how to customize the edit command now. So for right now, if you just wanted to do a test, you could actually use the export editor equals vim if you prefer the vi editor. So that will take effect only for this boot. We'll do edit sgminer eth.conf again. So we're in the vi editor. We can go into the insert mode, make a change. And it will behave the exact same way. It'll break the link, ask you to restart, and check your syntax if you need it. Now, if you want to make that permanent, we're going to cd back to our home folder, and we're going to, in this case, we'll use nano, the .bash rc file. this is where we have this variable at the present time. And you'll see the export editor command there. Just change it to what you want, Vim. Or if you always use the local GUI and or RDP, you can actually use LeafPad, and it will properly make the changes to the links and everything using the GUI editor. However, Nano is recommended. But yeah, you could do this, Control X, yes, enter, and then of course it would take effect on every reboot, or you can reload it with the source command. And now if we edit, it uses Vi. Well, as far as PiMP and how the default configuration files work and are updated, that's all there is to it. My name is Melt for the PiMP team. Thanks again for watching.